What is going on, everyone? Today it is Colin here again, and I'm going to be basically telling you how to work in cybersecurity education into your busy daily life. So let's get right into it. So in the busy field of cybersecurity, you really have to be constantly taking in information every single day to stay up to date, to really be on top of your game. I found these methods over time to really just get this information in throughout the day and avoid burnout at the same time. Every morning I start out the day early, I get up, I get my coffee, and I mentioned this in my last video, but I don't even check my phone or my email because that will distract me in the way that my mind works. And I'm sure most of you guys are like this, but the way that my mind works, as soon as I see one thing, then my mind just goes out of control and I start thinking about it, so I won't be focused on the studying. So get up in the morning, get your cup of coffee if you need it, and then get right into studying from your book. For me, I found that studying from the book in the morning is the best because for studying the book, I need the most attention, and in the morning I will have the most attention because I have less distraction. I mentioned in my CYSA Plus update video that I take out a certain amount of pages each day, and this is a great strategy because you have to remain consistent to really get through these objectives and take in the information. So I wake up early, I get these certain number of pages in, and then after that, I will go and get my breakfast. I'll usually be listening to a podcast or an audiobook, mostly cybersecurity related. And then, so I'll be getting my breakfast. And then after my breakfast, something very important that I always get in my day is exercise. So I don't know, some people who know me personally through my channel know that I'm an elite level cyclist. But if you didn't, so this really is a demanding, cycling is a pretty demanding sport, so I need to put in 15, 20 hours of training a week. So this is just another thing that I have on my plate that I figured out how to incorporate my studying in while I'm spending this time riding. After I eat breakfast and while I'm listening to my podcast, I'll usually keep the podcast or audiobook on, and then I will start my bike ride. Now, it is the winter here in Pennsylvania, so it gets pretty cold, so I'll either be training on my indoor trainer, which is actually a great opportunity for me to continue listening to my podcast or book, or sometimes while I'm on the indoor trainer, I'll set up a TV or my laptop, and then I will play, for example, right now I'm studying for the CYSA Plus exam, so I'll play Jason Dion's Udemy course, and I'll continue to watch this throughout my bike ride. And so if I'm going outside, I'll usually listen to, and I live in a pretty rural area, so it's fairly safe for me to be listening to headphones. I usually listen to it with one headphone in, but I'll be listening to either a podcast or an audiobook. And I'm going to be talking about how I utilize podcasts and audiobooks a little bit more for continued education. But basically, right now I'm currently listening to Kevin Mitnick's Art of Invisibility, which is a great book. It's really interesting and it's pretty informative actually. So I would highly recommend checking that out. And I'm listening to all this on Audible. I actually have a link down in the description from which you can get 2 free audiobooks your first month, and then you continue on, and for each month after that, Audible will give you 1 audiobook per month. So after I finish my workout, I get back and I continue listening to this audiobook or podcast while I'm making lunch. And something I didn't mention before is, while I was studying for the Security Plus, I was actually listening to Professor Messer's monthly recap videos where he would basically, it was called the study group, I believe, and I can actually link them to this video. And they were one of the most helpful resources to me because I have all this time, 15 to 20 hours a week where I'm exercising, but I've chosen to take this time and really use it to my advantage because I'm really, my mind is open to studying at this point. So I listened to the Professor Messer videos, and in those videos he gives some test example questions, answers people's questions, and then these are something that's also live every month. So if you're sitting down at this time, you could be on there live and asking him questions. So like I said before, I start making my lunch, continue on with this, and then my day really depends. It really depends on what I do from there. So when I was at school, before my winter break started, I would have afternoon classes. So I would go to my classes, and usually from lunch to about dinner time, I would be doing my classes, my schoolwork. Then after dinner time, I would usually watch a few videos while I'm eating. And for example, I'll be watching my CYSA Plus videos this semester because that's what I was working on. But you can honestly, you can go to some lighter topics over your some lighter related cybersecurity topics over your dinner or in that time where you're trying to relax. And then normally I'll get back into the book and take out a few more pages of the book to keep consistent and move forward towards my goal of these cybersecurity certifications. And then at nighttime, really depending on my course load and how soon I am from an exam, I will either be continuing on to read a few more pages, or I'll be watching some of the videos on Udemy, or I also enjoy watching some of the Cyber videos, and I've even checked out Pluralsight. So there's always an opportunity to work this into your daily routine. So if you're a little bit too tired to read, just watch a few videos, and this just really drives in the points. So basically, my main takeaways for this video are just constantly be adding this in and varying up the sources, because it can be definitely get very stale if you're reading 100 pages a day of these different books. So just vary up the sources. Like I said before, read the book, listen to audio, and then watch a video. So you're incorporating all these different study techniques, and it really gives you a wholesome study method to get ready for these exams. So if you like this video, check out my other videos, and I'm going to be putting out some more certification related videos soon. Thanks.